Okay, I'm sorry I actually stopped it by accident, so now this video is cut in two. Um, so we have our, let's see what we have. And I think I deleted it by accident. Let's see, let's go back. And I have our main page, and let's go back into inspecting the element, and let's emulate our phone. Okay, and now we should have our phone back. And I have to now I had made a little problem because we don't have a div of main screen, it's main page. Okay, so let's change it to main page. Let's refresh, and we should be okay. Oops, and I did it the wrong way. Okay, so it should be main page, which is the div that will be faded out, and add task, which will be the div that will be brought into view. So if we now click, okay, we are able to fade between the two screens. Okay. And it will allow us to fade between the two screens. Okay, and let's just, that should be fine. Okay, and it just looks a little weird on the browser, but it works perfectly on the phone. All right, so now we are able to kind of transition through our app. So let's actually put a back button here. Okay, HTML, and we have add task. And let's have a div class of back, because we want to keep the same template, and ID of add task back, so we know which button we're pressing when we want to go back, and let's enclose it in a div. Okay, and you should see it's there. So we should have, let's go to our CSS, and let's add dot back. And we can have a color of white, line height 45 pixels, and let's see what we get. Okay, and let's give it a position of absolute, otherwise it will interfere with our add task header. All right, and let's make the width 60 pixels and text align center. All right. And now you should see it here lingering around. Now we don't have to use just words. You're able to use whatever you want. You could use a button. There's plenty of templates out there, and if anyone needs any, just let me know. Okay, so we have dot back. Let's add a touch start and touch edge function to dot back. So every button with the class of dot back will highlight when touched. So dot back on touch start function. And let's do dot back, dot on, touch end function, and we want to again only trigger the dot back button that was touched at that time. This dot add class back pressed. And when we are done touching, this dot remove class back pressed. Okay. And let's add a style for that and make sure it's after dot back or it will not work, because our CSS, HTML, and JavaScript all reads from top to bottom, cascading, dot back pressed. And let's change the color. Color CO. Let's WebKit transform scale to 2 just for fun. Let's see what happens. And you will see that it scales. Okay, obviously I'm just being dramatic. Let's just do 1.1, 1.1. Actually, do 1.2. And we're going to add something cool. We're going to add something called a WebKit transition. 1 second, which means, okay, so this is actually sort of like keyframe animations. That means any property that I add here will be animated over time. That means over 1 second period, it will go from being a regular scale of 1.1 to 1.2. So let's see how that works. So we log in, and I press back, and then if you look carefully, as you press, okay, it'll animate. Okay, so you could add some cool animations over a period of time, so it doesn't look so choppy. But obviously 1 second is a lot, so let's just add 0.3 seconds, and it'll just look like you have some sort of animation period that goes along with it. Okay, whoop, and it just animates pretty fast. Okay, and you can do whatever you want. And I would suggest that you sit around and play with the possible values. Okay, so what is our add task back div? So let's go to our here. So we have add task back on click function, and we're going to want to fade in reverse. Fade, add task, main page. And if we look, now we're able to go to our add task, and we're able to now go back. Okay? And let's just see. Or okay, so some game consoles that can be run client side. Add something that allows the user to interact for with our next elements in the browser, such as divs, paragraphs, etc. Okay. It is an interpreted language. That means that it runs page, as something called or refresh the browser. So if I have an error in one of my scripts, I could simply right-click my document, and I could go to my console to see all the errors I have. Okay, it will run even if I have errors, unlike compile time languages. Let's add, the only problem is that it is a little bit slower, so compiled languages are faster. JavaScript programs are a sequence of commands and statements. That means that it is not an object-oriented language. If you had something like Java, it is not like Java, as in everything has to be an object. This has the option of not being an object, which I think is powerful, because not everything needs to be an object. Objects have but so for now, overhead, while sometimes they make your program slower and bloated, as where sometimes just having a functional language and we're going to attach that same thing for much faster. Submit button. We're going to go over that a bunch of times for the rest of the semester. It's going to just bring our task out of view. Okay, so that's it for now. JavaScript get linked at the end of the body. Okay, except